Hi, everybody, and welcome back to this week's YouTube video here at Be a Boss Coaching. My name is Beatriz, and this is a special video today. This video today is a behind the scenes look at how I create my newsletter. And it's a very scrappy video on how I create my newsletter. It's a bit behind the scenes, and I hope that it's helpful for you in terms of how you can begin to formulate or create your own process for creating a newsletter and an email list. And I wanted to create this video because I do have a newsletter and email list workshop that is happening on April 19th from 11 to 12:30 Pacific Standard Time. I encourage you to come and register. It will be in the description below, so you can register down there. And then if you become part of my newsletter, once you purchase and register for that workshop, you become part of my newsletter. And for future workshops, you get discounts. For all of my workshops, for all of my subscribers, you get $10 off for workshops. So if you're not part of my newsletter, I encourage you to come be part of it. And you can sign up through my workshop, and I'm excited to get to know you. But anyway, I hope that this video is helpful for you to just kind of see like the process of what it could look like. What I'll also share is I do have a Kit affiliate link, so if you'd like to sign up for an email marketing software and provider, you can do it through my Kit link. To be honest, I don't really know how much of a discount you receive. But it does help me out. I get, I believe, a commission on it. I will leave that link in the description if you'd like to sign up using Kit and start building your email list and newsletter. And I hope that this is helpful. Again, it's a very scrappy because the way that I create my newsletters every week, I realized it's not very linear. It starts at the beginning of the week, and by the end of the week there's a newsletter and that I send that out. Usually I send it out towards the end of the week, either Thursday or Friday. And but I just wanted to show you a bit behind the scenes. So I hope you enjoy and come on over again to the newsletter and email list workshop happening on April 19th from 11 to 12:30 PST. All right, see you at the end. And I want to go over just like, I guess, a little bit, show you a little bit behind the scenes or of how I create my newsletter content, my YouTube content as well. They're both most of the time related, and I use different tools, specifically my editing and software tools. I use that also to brainstorm. And so you might see here that I actually had done a little bit of brainstorming already. And I was already kind of like, I don't really. So when I brainstorm, I just go in. It's mostly a brain dump where I just go ahead and talk about anything that's been coming up for me this past week, coming up in my sessions, themes that I've been noticing in my day-to-day, and I talk and I ramble. What I then do is I take from that rambling some sort of themes begin to come out, and usually as I begin to ramble, begin to talk out the themes and ideas that I've been thinking about, some ideas begin to form. After those ideas begin to form, because they're not fully cohesive, they're mostly brain dumps or brainstorming type of scripts, I take that script and I go into Claude.ai, which is another AI language model. It's not ChatGPT, but I do like Claude because it's the feel of it just feels a little bit more human for me. So I use Claude AI. But you can see here I already have a few brainstorming thoughts here that I put here. And be quite honest with you, I did not, towards the end, I was not feeling it. I was feeling very unmotivated. But then I thought this would be a good time to, I guess, show you, even when you feel unmotivated, when you're not feeling fully creative, you don't have that full energy to come up with something. Sometimes that is the process, sort of like when you go work out or go run, you're not feeling it at first, but after a few minutes, you might get into it, you start feeling energized. And this is what I came up with. I usually was, I've been thinking a lot about tariffs these days. And of course, with all of the things that are happening in the world around tariffs and how that impacts us as business owners and corporations and big businesses around the world, that is something that I thought maybe I could brainstorm. But anyway, this is sort of just another, I just want to show you how I take this script, and then what I like to do is I like to go into Claude.ai, and I like to, let me bring this here, and I ask it something that will help me create a more comprehensive and cohesive topic or theme for my script that I brainstormed. And I will say, can you help me create a topic or theme or newsletter using this script? Now copy and paste it, and then I will put make it, keep my tone of voice, my tone of voice and yeah, that's usually what I like to put. And I just like to see what it provides me. And see, now there's like a few main newsletter ideas that I could potentially go into. So here you can see newsletter ideas, navigating uncertainty and finding grounding, which is something that I was talking about in my brainstorming session prior to this. Putting around your thoughts and staying grounded. Your authentic voice comes through clearly, balancing professional insights as a business coach with personal connections to current economic challenges through your father's business. Finding solid ground and shifting sands, a business owner's guide to uncertainty. Some content based on the personal impact of global changes. Your father's body-based grounding, practical and business owners can use when feeling overwhelmed. So some techniques for feeling overwhelmed. Acknowledging the unmotivated days. Yeah, normalize the feeling of not wanting to do anything when faced with uncertainty. Simple next steps. Offer 1 to 2 small, manageable actions your readers can take to move forward even when feeling stuck. So here it's just sort of like a brainstorming tool or technique that you can use in your creation process. AI, it's advancing and it's becoming an integral part of creating, and sort of like being another, like an assistant to your work and to your business. So I think that this is a good start, and what I'm gonna do now is take some of this and brainstorm and flush out a little more. Okay, so yesterday I actually had already begun drafting out the newsletter for this week, which honestly might change. This newsletter might be going out next week because the newsletter for this week will be more behind the scenes type of newsletter, as this video is for. But I want to share with you what I came up with. So as I was talking about earlier is, I've been thinking a lot about tariffs. Tariffs is all over the news now. And that is one strategy that you can use in your newsletters, is to take current events, take trending events, and use them, embed them into your newsletters, into the information that you are providing. And because as I'm a business coach and I am now also talking about self-care and healing and development and the importance of that within our journeys as business owners and entrepreneurs, I wanted to begin the newsletter with the current happening that we're experiencing now, which is these tariffs that are all over the news. So I named this newsletter Tariffs because it is, like I said, everywhere that we see the news talking about tariffs. So I wanted to talk about some of the things that we as business owners and entrepreneurs, how we might or may be impacted by these tariffs. So I did have actually yesterday already started on a draft for this. And then you can see here I put, hey there, this is sort of like just like a default picture that's always there. So I always end up changing this. I always put the date of this email when it's going to go out. And today's April 9th, so I'm going to put this to go out tomorrow, April 10th. And you see here, I already wrote out a introduction to this newsletter. And I wanted to incorporate some links that link back to this claim here. For example, this second paragraph talking about the stock market has plunged. Investors have spoken out, and trillions of corporate dollars have essentially evaporated over the last 3 days. Yes, evaporated. And if you see here, if you click on that link, it takes you to a Spotify link or podcast episode that talks about basically that claim that I had just put around those trillions of dollars basically evaporating overnight or in the past 3 days. And this is the reference for that. It's a podcast episode. I like to do that to give the newsletter validity, credibility, right? I'm not just talking nonsense here, but this is true, and here's the proof. It's from the New York Times, the daily podcast episode. And then I like to go into, what this means. What could this mean for big business, big corporations, and small businesses alike? And then transition that into the topic that I really want to hone in on, which is the topic that we were brainstorming earlier around unpredictability, uncertainty. And I want to go here into, so how do we deal with unpredictability and uncertainty in today's business economy? Let's explore some ways. And here in my newsletter, I actually have some template. This isn't a template that I edit, but it basically has all of the sections of my newsletter that I like to go into. So if I'm talking about podcast news, it's here. Any upcoming events, I put it here. Announcements, I put it there. Any recommendations or faves. So like if there's any shows or podcast episodes or books that I really recommend to people, this is where I put it here. And then I always have this last part, listen, read, visit. This is a button that I can include a custom URL to see you next week. It's my sign off. I always put my name at the end. And then I always have this last section too. Did this email provide value? Consider supporting. And it's sort of like, I call it buy via a bagel, because you can donate. If you feel compelled to donate, you can donate here. These are my links here, my social media links, and of course the subscribe and preference buttons for subscribers to update their preferences, to unsubscribe if they are like, I don't want to be part of this newsletter anymore. And then this last part, which is anyone who would wants to create a newsletter for themselves and wants to use the Kit app or the Kit software, which is what I use. They can do it with my link, and it helps them out. They get a bit of a discount, and I get a commission out of it. I don't really know exactly the numbers there, but in case anybody does, right? And this all depending on what I'm writing about that week is here. So here, because I do have upcoming events coming up soon, is where I'll put my event, which is actually my newsletter event, not that, but I will put so what Kit does is you can put different elements. Here I'm gonna put the newsletter event that I'm having on the 19th. Here we go. And it's going to be, I always include a discount here because it helps it. I like to offer that to my subscribers, so I always put that there. I don't have any podcast news that I'm gonna be announcing, so it is happening, but I'm not gonna be putting anything about that here in this week's newsletter. And I don't think I'll be having any formal announcements. I might have some faves and recs this newsletter, so I'll put that in later. Usually here, this button I use if I have a podcast episode or want to direct people to somewhere else, but I'm not going to use that. And then that's it. So this is the intro, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish brainstorming the rest of this newsletter, talking about exploring some ways that we can face unpredictability and uncertainty. I'm going to add it here, and I will be most likely changing this picture here. I'm going to just take it off for now, but I like to keep it. I actually do like to keep it to just give it an image. And so I think about what sort of image would best illustrate this current newsletter, and I like to think about that. And what this does here is, if I wanted to replace this image, I could replace it with some stock image, and I could search, maybe I wanted to talk. Sometimes I research the actual word. Maybe this is a good picture. We don't know. But sometimes I think of other illustrations that could potentially illustrate the newsletter, but I'll look it up here later. And that's how I come up with my newsletters. It's not all in one sitting. Usually as you can see, I started this particular part of the newsletter the day before, and then I begin to brainstorm more around it the following day. And because I usually send it out towards the end of the week, I will start it at the beginning of the week, and then towards the end, I will finish this off, put in any events that I might be having, any faves and recs, and then I send it off and I schedule it. And then the way that looks is I would have to put a subject line here, and let's just pretend this is called tariffs. and then you would press continue, and you can send us an email. And then here through my business email, you can put filters on here. So I do have subscribers that actually are subscribers that I've gotten from different referral sources that are not necessarily didn't subscribe directly into my newsletter. And I tag those subscribers as basically don't email these people. And I do have that tag, and I always like to make sure that that tag is included. So the way that I do that is, I'll just show you really quick, is I'll put subscribe to and tags, and I have a no email tag pretty much, which is no email list. And then I add that filter, and then you can see it went from 154 subscribers to 150. So there's 4 people that are on my email list that came from other sources that directly said don't email me, but I still keep them there for updating them on the other source that they signed up through. Maybe it was a workshop that I was collaborating with, and so I always make sure to do it here. And then you continue. You can, of course, send now, or you can schedule it. And publish to web is with Kit, you actually get a creator profile. But with that creator profile, other creators, other people that come across your profile with Kit, who use Kit, can sign up to your newsletter. And what I do is I only publish to the web through my creator profile only once a month. And that's how I get people to come into my newsletter, because if they read my monthly newsletter and they want to get more, then I incentivize them by letting them know by subscribing to my newsletter, they can receive weekly content from me. And that is it. So I'm going to go back to, this is a draft. You can see here's a draft. I'm going to keep editing this, and you will most likely see this next week, most likely. All right. Thank you all, and let me know what you thought about this behind the scenes, and reply to me, and I'd love to get your thoughts. Thank you. Thank you for sticking around till the end for this behind the scenes YouTube video on my newsletter creation process. Again, come to the workshop April 19th, 11 to 12:30. I will leave the registration in the description. You can go ahead and register there. And if you register for this workshop, any future workshops, since you will officially become part of my newsletter, will be at a discounted price. I am excited for you to join me, and let me know what you thought. Leave a comment or share this with a friend. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I will see you next week. Bye.